everyone, welcome to my channel Maths Friendly. Today I am going to do the second part of the introduction video of this chapter, Knowing Our Numbers. This is the first chapter of 6th class Maths from NCERT book. And in the previous class I did the first part of this introduction video of this chapter, and in today's class I will teach the topic estimation. So let's begin. Some of you must be thinking that what is estimation? Why do we do estimation? What is the need of learning estimation? I'll give you a few examples and then you will understand what is estimation, what is the need of doing estimation, why we are learning estimation. You will understand all these questions. So now let us take the first example. Suppose tomorrow is your birthday and you want to celebrate it at your school and you want to get chocolates for them, for your classmates. And suppose there are 36 students in your class. There are 36 students in your class. So how many chocolates will you take? Will you take less than 36 chocolates? No, you will not take less because there will be shortage. Will you take 36 chocolates? No, you will not take 36 chocolates because there may be some friends who can ask for more chocolates. So you will take more than 36 chocolates. So what will be the number of chocolates which you will take to the school? Maybe around 50. So around 50 chocolates you will take to the school. So if your parents ask you that how many chocolates are you going to take to the school, you will say that around 50. So you thought that this may be the number of chocolates required tomorrow. So you will take 50 chocolates. So this is a approximated number of chocolates which you are thinking that may be needed tomorrow. So 50 is a good approximation of 36. Though there are 36 students in the class, you will take 50 chocolates because you think that 50 is a good approximation of 36. Okay, so you are not going to take this fixed amount of chocolate, you are going to take more chocolates than this 36. Now let us take one more example. Suppose there is a party or a big function at your home, and then the first thing which you will do is you will count the number of people which are going to come to the party, the number of guests. Suppose you listed the number of guests to be 87. Suppose 87 people are being invited and you want to arrange a dinner for them, and you are going to order food from outside. Then how many plates will you order? Will you order number of plates less than 87? No, because there will be shortage if you order less. Will you order 87 plates of food? No, definitely not, because there may be some more guests which can come to the party. So what you will do, you will order more number of plates than 87. So how many plates will you order? Around 100. So though there are 87 guests to be invited, you are ordering 100 plates. Means you are approximating this number to this. Means you are thinking that 100 is a good approximation of 87. So you will say that there are 87 guests to be invited and we are ordering 100 plates. Means 100 is a good approximation for 87. So you are not going to order the exact 87 plates. You are going to order some more number of plates, which is not fixed. It may be you may order 105 plates. 105 plates. You may order 100. You may order 105, but not the exact number. So this is not the fixed quantity. This is the estimated quantity which you are estimating. You are thinking that these many may be required. Okay, so this is the estimated number or approximated number. Now let us come to the next example. Suppose you are watching TV and you are watching a news channel and you heard a news that in an earthquake approximately 1,000 people were killed. How many people were killed? Approximately 1,000 means not exactly 1,000 but approximately means near to 1,000 people. Okay, and more than 2,000 people were injured. not exactly 2000 people were injured, but around 2000 people were injured. So what are these numbers? These are the estimated number. These numbers give you an idea to understand that around 1000 people killed, around 1000 people killed, and around 2000 people injured. Means it may be the number may be little more than this or little less than this. The number of people injured may be little more than this or little less than this, but the number of people killed will be around this and the number of people injured will be around this. So this is not the fixed number or the exact count. This is the estimated number. So there are many such situations in life where the things are not exact or certain, but we need to have a rough idea of the number or quantity. Then we have to use estimation in those situations. Now you understood what is estimation and where we need to do estimation. But how do we estimate numbers? We estimate numbers by rounding them off. So now let us learn the ways of estimating numbers. As I said, we estimate numbers by rounding off. So now we will see what are the ways of rounding off a number. For that, I will give you one example. Suppose you want to gift something to your mother on her birthday. For that, you are saving money. And today is the day you are going to buy a gift for her. So suppose you saved rupees 409 and now you are going to the shop to buy a gift for her, and you took your sister along with you. So on the way she asked that how much money you have. So you said that 400, around 400 I have. Means what you said? You have 400 you said. It means you rounded off this figure, this number or this figure to this. So what you did? 409 is rounded off to 400. You have done rounding off of this number. You have rounded off this number to 400 because this number is close to 400. So you said that you have 400. Okay, and now you reach to the shop and you saw many items and you selected a gift which costs rupees 410. The price of the gift is 410, but what you have with you, you have this 409, but the cost is 410. So you thought that you cannot buy the gift because it is a 410 and you have 409 rupees. But the shopkeeper said that give me this amount, give me 409 rupees and take the gift. It means what he did, he rounded off this 400. He rounded off your money. 409 is rounded off to 410. So what he did, he rounded off 409 to 410 and he said that you can take the gift. So how you rounded off 409? You said that it is 400. It means you have rounded off this number and you said that you have 400. But what he did for this money, what you have 409 and he rounded off it. He rounded off this and he said that take the gift and you pay me 409. So he rounded it off as 10 because 409 is closer to, after 409 what comes? 410. So 409 is closer to 410. So he rounded off 409 to 410. And same here, 409 is closer to 400. So you rounded 409 to 400. So the amount 409 is rounded off to 400 and 409 is rounded off to 410. The same number is rounded off to 400 and the same number is rounded off to 400. So we can round off the same numbers in different ways. Okay, we round off in different ways. Here we use the one way to round off and we rounded off to this, and here we used another way to round off this number and we rounded off this to 400. Okay, so now we will learn the ways of rounding off the numbers. So what you did? it is this way of rounding off number is known as rounding off to the nearest tens, and this is known as rounding off the number to the nearest hundreds. Okay, because the nearest after 409 comes 410. So this is the nearest tens for 409. Okay, and what is the nearest hundreds? This is in hundreds, right? 100, 200, 300, 400. These all are in hundreds. So the nearest hundred for 409 is this. So 409. So this way of rounding off the number is known as rounding off to the nearest hundreds, and this way of rounding off the number is known as rounding off to the nearest tens. So now we will first learn the ways of rounding off, estimating the numbers to the nearest tens. How we round off the number to the nearest tens. Let us learn. Now let us estimate a number, say 38. 38. We have to estimate 38 to the nearest tens by rounding off, because we estimate numbers by rounding off. So what is the nearest tens to 38? Means 38 lies between 30 and 40. These are the 30 and 40 are the nearest tens for 38. Okay, so is it nearer to 40 or it is nearer to 30? See, the gap between 30 and 38 is 8, and the gap between 38 and 40 is 2. So 38 is nearer to 40. So 38 will be rounded off to 40. Means we have estimated 38 to the nearest 10 by rounding off to 40. Okay, now let us take 37. 37. Now we have to round this number to the nearest tens by rounding off. So 30 is between 30 and 40. So is it closer to 30 or it is closer to 40? Obviously it is closer to 40, because the gap between 37 and 40 is 3, and the gap between 30 and 37 is 7. So 37 will be rounded off to 40. Means when we are rounding off 37 to the nearest tens, it is rounded off to 40. Okay. So now let us take number 30. So after 30, 31 will be there, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39 and then 40. Okay. So if we have to round off 31 to the nearest tens, what will be there? Means 31 lies between 30 and 40, but it is closer to 30. So when we will round off 31 to the nearest tens, we will round it off to 31 will be rounded off to 30. Okay, what about 32? 32 also lies between 30 and 40. The nearest tens for 32 are 30 and 40, but it is closer to 30. So 32 will also be rounded off to 30. 32 will also be rounded off to 30. What about 33? 33 also lies between 30 and 40, but it is closer to 30. So 33 will also be rounded off to 30. 33 will also be rounded off to 30. What about 34? 34 is also much closer to 40 when compared to 40, because the gap between 30 and 34 is 4 and the gap between 34 and 40 is 6. So 34 will also be rounded off to 30. 34 also rounded off to 40. Also rounded off to 30. Okay. Now, what about 35? Because 35 is at equal distance from 30 and 40. See, the gap between 30 and 35 is 5. See the gap, it is 5, right? And the gap between 35 and 40 is also 5. So it is at equal distance from both 30 and 40. So it will be estimated to, it will be rounded off to 40. By rule, it is by practice, it is in common practice that we round it off to the next tens. The 30 is the previous tens for 35 and this is the next tens. So the middle number is rounded off to the next tens. So 35 will be rounded off to 40. It will not be rounded off to 30. What about 36? 36 is much closer to 40, so it will be rounded off to 40. It is at more distance from 30 when compared to 40, so it will be rounded off to 40. 37 will be rounded off to 40 because it is much closer to 40 when compared to 30. And what about 38? 38 will also be rounded off to 40. 39 will also be rounded off to 40 because these all numbers are much closer to 40. Okay. Now let us take one more example to understand rounding off number to the nearest tens. So let us take 364. We have to round off 364 to the nearest tens. So what do we do? If we have to round off to the nearest tens, we look at the digit at the ones place. What is the digit at the ones place? It is 4. So when the digit at ones place is 1, 2, 3, 4, it is rounded off to 0. Okay. See here. So this will be rounded, this 4 will be rounded off to 0. 6 will remain as it is and 3 will remain as it is. So what we have seen, 364 is rounded off to 360 to the nearest tens. Okay, because 364 lies between 360 and 370. So when we round off 364, we round off this number to 360 to the nearest tens because these are the nearest tens for 364. But by rule we found that we have to see the digit at ones place. When the digit at ones place is either 1, 2, 3 or 4, we round off this to 0. Okay, so 4 is rounded off to 0, 6 remains as it is, 3 remains as it is and 364 is rounded off to 360. Okay, now and yes, one more thing, when we are rounding off a number to the nearest tens, the ones digit becomes 0. See, 0 is the ones digit and it has been, see the ones digit is 4 here, and when we round off this number 364, when we round off this number to the nearest tens, the ones digit becomes 0. Okay, so this is the thing which we have to notice, that when we round off a number to the nearest tens, the ones digit becomes 0. Okay, now let us take one more example. Just now we took 364, right? Now if we take 368, then and we have to round off this to the nearest tens. What we will do, we will look at the digit at the ones place. When the digit at the ones place is 6, 7, 8, 9, then it is rounded off to 10. See why? Because this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, this is 9 and 10. So when the digit at ones place is 6, 7, 8, 9, it is rounded off to 10 because these digits are closer to 10. Okay, so see, this 8 has become This 8 is rounded off to 10. So this will become 8 will become 10. So 10 means 0 will come and 1 carry. This 1 plus 6 will be 7 and this 3 will remain as it is. So 368 is rounded off to 370 to the nearest tens. Okay, in this also, when we are rounding off this number to the nearest tens, the ones digit, the digit at ones place has become 0. So whenever we round off any number to the nearest tens, the ones digit becomes 0. Okay. And what about this one? When the ones digit is either 1, 2, 3, 4, it is rounded off to 0. So 364 is rounded off as 360. See, the ones digit will become 0, 4 will become 0, 6 will remain as it is and 3 will remain as it is. So 364 is rounded off to 360 to the nearest tens. But what about, if the number is 365, then what? 5 is at middle, because when the ones digit is 1, 2, 3 or 4, we round off this 1, 2, 3, 4 to 0 because these are closer to 0. When the ones digit is 6, 7, 8, 9, we round off this to 10 because these digits are closer to 10. But what about 6? What about 5? 5 is at the middle position. It is at equal distance from 0 and it is at equal distance from 10. But by common practice, what do? 5 is also rounded off to 10. 5 is rounded off to 10 means the middle number is rounded off to the next, to the bigger one. Okay, it will not be rounded off to 0, it will be rounded off to 10. So it means 5. So if we have to round off this 365, we will look at the digit at ones place. Means ones place the digit is 5 and it will be rounded. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 will be rounded off to 10. So this 5 will be rounded off to 10. So the ones digit will become 10 means it will become 0, 1 carry, and this one will be 6 plus 1 is equal to 7 and this is 3. So 365 will be rounded off to 370 to the nearest tens. See, when we are rounding off a number, this number we are rounding off 365 to the nearest tens, and by what result we get? The result which we get will be 0 will come in the ones place. When we round off a number to the nearest tens, the ones digit becomes 0. Okay, so understood till here? Just now we learned to estimate number to the nearest tens by rounding off. Now we will learn to estimate numbers to the nearest hundreds by rounding off. So let us take one example. 610. We have to estimate this number to the nearest hundreds by rounding off. So what we will do? What is the nearest hundreds for this? See, 610 lies between 600 and 700. So, and this 610 is closer to 600 when compared to 700. It is more farther away from 700 and closer to 600. So, 610 can be rounded off to 600 when we are rounding off this number to the nearest hundreds, because nearest hundreds for this is 600. Okay, now let us learn the rule. What rule we follow when we estimate the number to the nearest hundreds. So for that, let us take one more example. 486. What we do, we have to round off this number to the nearest hundreds, ones, tens and hundreds. So what we do, we look at the digits at ones and tens place. These two makes one number. Okay, if this number is between 1 to 49, this will be rounded off to 0. See, any number can be, a number can be 401. So the digit at ones and tens place will be this. So this will be the number, 1 will be the number. If 419, these two will make one number 19. So what we have to do, if this number, the numbers formed by these two digits, the number formed by these two digits is between 1 to 49, it will be rounded off to 0. Okay, because see why? See, 0 is here. After 0 comes 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And like that we will go on to 50. Okay, after 50 what will come? 51, 52, 53. Like that we will go on and we will reach 99. After 99 will come 100. So what we see 1, 2, 3, 4, like that it will go 49 and then 50 will come, and after 50, 51, 52, like that. So the numbers from 1 to 49 are closer to 0. See, 50 is the middle number, right? So before 50 the numbers are 1 to 49 which are closer to 0. So the numbers from 1 to 49 is rounded off to 0, and the numbers from 51 to 99, the numbers from 51 to 99, it is closer to 100. So these numbers will be rounded off to 100. Okay, but what about 50? 50 is at equal distance from 0 and 100 because it is the middle number. So the distance between 50 and 0 is same, and the distance between 50 and 0 is same. So what will be? 50 will be rounded off to, by common practice, what we do? We round off the middle number to the greater one. So 50 will also be rounded off to 100. Okay, now let us do this one. So these two numbers, these two digits which forms a number is 86, and 86 is between 51 to 99. So what we will do? This will be rounded off to 100. So this 86 will be rounded off to 100 because it lies from between 51 to 99. So it is closer to 100. It will be rounded off to 100. So what we will do? This is rounded off to 100 means 100 means 0, 0. 1 is carried. Okay, so this 1 plus 4 will be 5. What we did? This 86 is rounded off to 100. 100 means what? How we will write 100? 0, 0, and 1 will be carried. This 1 plus 4 will become 5. Means 486 is rounded off to 500. When we are rounding off 486 to the nearest hundreds, we round it off to 500 because 500 is more closer hundreds for this 486. Okay. Now let us take one more example. See, this is 7849 means 7,849, and we have to round off this number to the nearest hundreds. So what we do? Ones, tens and hundreds. This is the hundreds place. So we look at the digit at ones and tens place. This lies between 1 to 49. See, 1 to 49. And 1 to 49 is closer to 0. So it will be rounded off to 0. So 49 will be rounded off to 0. Means 49 is rounded off to 0. Because this is 2-digit number, so 2 zeros will come. 8 will remain as it is. 7 will remain as it is. Okay. It means 7,849 is rounded off to 7,800 to the nearest hundreds. This way we round off a number to the nearest hundreds. We look at these two digits. If this two digits is between 1 to 49, we round it off to 0. And if this two digits is between 51 to 99, we round it off to 100. And see, I will give you one more example. If one number is 900 or 250. So what we do when we round it off to the nearest 100? We look at these two digits. Okay, these two digits which makes a number. So 50. What is that? 50 is the middle number and it is rounded off to 100.
100. So what we will do? This will be rounded off to 100, means this 1 will be carried and it is 1 plus 2 is 3. So 250 is rounded off to 300 to the nearest hundreds. When we round off 250 to the nearest hundreds, we round it off to 300. So this way we round off numbers to the nearest hundreds. Now let us learn to estimate number to the nearest thousands. So let us take one example. This is 1599 and we have to estimate this number to the nearest thousands. Okay. So what we will do? Ones, tens, hundreds and thousands. So what we will do? We will look at the digits before thousands place. This is thousands place. So we will look at the digits before thousands place. So if this number, this makes a number 599. If this number is between 1 to 499, it will be rounded off to 0. See how? See, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that we will go on counting 7, 8, 9, 10. Like that the number which will come will be 500 and before 500 will be 499. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that we will go on counting and we will get 499. After that, after 499 we will have 500. After 500, 501, 502 like that we will go on counting and we will reach 999. After that, after this we will get 1000. Okay, so if this number is between 1 to 499, it will be rounded off to 0. See, this 5, this is 0, this is 1000 and 500 is in between, is just in between 0 and 100. So this is the middle number. Before this, the numbers are 1 to 499, which are closer to 0. When compared to 1000, these numbers 1 to 499 is closer to 0. So it will be rounded off to 0. And this is the middle number 500. We know that. So numbers from 501 to 999, it is closer to 1000 when compared to 0, right? So the numbers from 501 to 999, 501 to 999 will be rounded off to 1000 because these numbers are closer to 1000. So what is there? So to round off a number to the nearest thousands, we look at the numbers which is formed by ones, tens and hundreds digit. If this number is between 1 to 49, it is rounded off to 0. And if this number is between 501 to 999, it is rounded off to 1000. Here this is more than 500. So it is between 501 to 999. So it will be rounded off to 1000. Okay. So this will be rounded off to 1000. So what we will do? 1000 means 1 and 3 zeros. So this is rounded off to 1000. So 3 zeros, 1, 2 and 3. And 1 we will carry. This 1 plus 1 will become 2. So 1599, when this number 1599 is rounded off to the nearest thousand, it is rounded off to 2000. Okay, 1599 when rounded off to the nearest thousand, it is rounded off to 2000. Okay, now let us take one more example. So this is the number 6234 and we have to round off this number to the nearest thousand. ones, tens, hundreds and thousands. So we will look at the digits before thousands place. So before thousands place we have 234. So if this 234 is between 1 to 499, it will be rounded off to 0. See, because 1 to 499, these numbers are closer to 0. So we will round off this number to 0. Means since there are 3 digits, so this is rounded off to 0 and 6 will remain as it is. Okay, so when 6234 is rounded off to the nearest thousand, it is rounded off to 6000. Or you can check it like that. See, 6234 is between which thousand? It is between 6000 and 7000, and 6234 is much closer to 6000. So it is rounded off to 6000. But we follow this rule to find out the estimation of this number. How to round off this number, this rule is followed. Okay. Now let us take one more example. Now we have to round off this number to the nearest thousands. So what we will do? We will look at the digits before thousand, ones, tens, hundreds and thousands. So these are the digits before thousands place. So this is 687. 687, see, 687 is here somewhere. After 687 comes after 500. So it is closer to 1000. See, if the number is between 501 to 999, it will be rounded off to 1000. So this number will be rounded off to 1000. So 1000 means 1, 2, 3 zeros and 1 carry, and this 9 plus 1 will be 10. So 9687 is rounded off to 10,000 to the nearest thousands. This way we round off the number to the nearest thousands. Now let us do one question. I will take one number and I will round off that number. That same number I will round off to the nearest tens, to the nearest hundreds and to the nearest thousands. So what is the question? Round off the given number to the nearest tens, near hundreds and thousands. So I have taken this number. This same number will be rounded off to nearest tens, nearest hundreds and nearest thousands. So what is that? If we round off this number to the nearest tens, we have to look at the ones digit. Ones digit is less than 5, so it will be 0 and this will remain as it is. So 75820. This number is rounded off to the nearest tens. Now this same number will be rounded off to the nearest hundreds. So for that we look at the ones, tens and hundreds. So we look at the digit before hundreds place, ones and tens digit. It is less than 50. So it will be rounded off to 0 and this digit will remain as it is. So 7, 5, 8 and 0, 0. So this same number is rounded off to the nearest hundreds. Now this same number I will round off to the nearest thousands. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So what we will do? We will look at the digits before thousands. This number is more than 500. So this will be rounded off to 1000 and it will become 1000. So these 3 digits will be 0, 0, 0, 1000. It has become 1000. So this 1 plus 5 will be 6 and 7 will be as it is. So what is that? This same number is rounded off to the nearest tens. The same number is rounded off to the nearest hundreds. And the same number is rounded off to the nearest thousands. So the same number we can round off to any place. Here it is to rounded off to tens, hundreds and thousands. So understood? The same number can be rounded off to any place. Till now we have learned to estimate the numbers. Now we will learn to estimate the sum. Sum means what? Sum means to add. Sum means to add. So
here we will estimate the sum. What is that? What is the estimating sum? So let us take one example and understand what is that. Suppose you are going to a science exhibition and there some models are also displayed for sale. Okay, and you want to buy some models for you. Suppose you took 700 rupees with you to that exhibition and you want to buy some models which are displayed for sale, and you selected one item which costs rupees 199 and the other item you selected is cost rupees 299. And what is there? There is rush in that exhibition. You cannot add these two to find what is the sum of these two. Means what if you add these two, what will be the result? You don't have enough time to add. So what you will do, and one more thing, you want to save some money. You want to take some money back to home. You don't want to spend all 700 to the exhibition. You want to take some money back to home. So what you will do, and you don't have enough time to add these two and find the what is the total price of these two. So in that case, what you will do, you will estimate the sum. So what is the actual sum you want? You want to find what is the sum of 199 plus 299, but you don't have enough time to find this. You don't have enough time to add. So what you will do, you will estimate this as, this 199 will be estimated as 200 and 299 will be estimated as 300. Now you can quickly add this 200 plus 300 is 500. So you got that the two items which you selected costs rupees 500, and you can easily take 200 rupees back to home. So you are happy for that. So what you did, how you got that the things, that these two things will cost rupees 500 by estimating the sum. Okay, you estimated this sum. The actual sum you did not find, you found the estimated sum. You got the estimated sum and the result is this, and you are happy with that you can take 200 rupees back to home. So this is why we do the estimated sum. So in real life, in day-to-day life, we do this estimation of sum. We estimate the sum in our day-to-day life, and so it is very important. So now I will show you how to estimate the sum. So let us take one example how to estimate the sum. $5,120 plus 16,892. We have to estimate the sum. We don't have to find the actual sum of these two numbers. What will be the actual sum? 5120,16892. If we do the addition of these two numbers, we will get the actual sum of these two numbers. But here what we have to find? We have to estimate the sum. So we have to find the estimated sum of these two numbers. How we will do? What is the process of finding the estimated sum of these two numbers? We estimate these two numbers separately and then we add that estimated number. So to estimate these two numbers, we round off these two numbers. For rounding off the two numbers, we round off to a particular place, either to tens, hundreds or thousands. So these two numbers we will round off separately and then we will add these two numbers to find the estimated sum. So to which place we will round off these two numbers? See, this is in ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. This is in thousands place, and this number has ones, tens, hundreds and
ones, tens, hundreds, thousand and 10,000. So this is the smaller number and this one is the bigger number. So we will round off these two numbers to the greatest place of this number, to the greatest place of the smaller number. The smaller number has which place? Ones, tens, hundreds and thousands. So thousands is the greatest place of this smaller number. This smaller number has thousands as the greatest place. So we will round off these two numbers to the thousands place, because when we find the estimated sum, we round off these two numbers to the same place. If we round off this number to thousands place, we have to round off this number also to the thousands place. We can't round off this number to hundreds place. If we are rounding off this number to hundreds place, we have to round off the other number also to the hundreds place. So we will round off these two numbers to the thousands place. So rounding off to thousands. Why thousands? Because the smaller number has thousands place as the greatest place. So we will round off to the thousands. So this will round off to 5120, rounds off to, if we round off this number to thousands, it round off to 5,000. And 16892 rounds off to, when this number is rounded off to thousands, it is rounded off to 17,000. 17,000. Now we will find the estimated sum. Estimated sum means we have to add these two estimated numbers. So 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, 5 plus 7 is 12, 2, 1 carry, this 1 plus 1 is 2. So it is 22,000. The estimated sum is 22,000. Now let us find the actual sum. What is the actual sum of these two numbers? 0 plus 2 is 2, 2 plus 9 is 11, 1 carry, 1 plus 8 is 9, 9 plus 1 is 10, 1 carry, 1 carry, 5 plus 6 is 11, 11 plus 1 is 12, 1 carry, and this 1 plus 1 is 2. So this is 22,012. The actual sum of these two numbers is 22,012 and the estimated sum is 22,000. So the estimated sum is very close to the actual sum. So this estimation is reasonable, it is meaningful. Okay, so this way we do the estimated sum. We estimate the sum. Now let us learn to estimate difference. Difference means what? Difference means to subtract. Difference means to subtract. To subtract means if you are asked what is the difference between 10 and 5, means we have to subtract 5 from 10. This gives 10 minus 5 is 5. So the difference between 10 and 5 is 5. Means we have to subtract 5 from 10. What is the difference between 2 and 8? Means we have to subtract 2 from 8. We get 6. So the difference between 2 and 8 is 6. Means we have to subtract the smaller number from the bigger number and we get the answer. This is known as difference. Difference means to subtract. So here what we will do, we will find the estimated difference. So what is the need? Why do we find the estimated difference? Why do we do this? Because suppose I'll give you an example. Suppose I have rupees 625 with me and I'm going to market to buy something. And I purchased something of rupees 199 and or I don't purchase, I just thought to purchase a thing which costs rupees 199. So I wanted to know how much money will be left with me after buying this thing. After buying this thing which costs rupees 199, I want to know how much money will be left with me. So what do I actually need? I need to know the difference between 625 and this. I want to know the difference between these two. So what do I actually need? I want to know the difference between these two, means I want to know the result after subtracting this. Okay, so I want to know this, that if I purchase this object, this thing which cost rupees 199, then how much money will be left with me after buying. So, but I don't want to calculate it. I don't want to do the actual subtraction, 625 minus 199. I don't want to do this subtraction actually. I just want to get a rough idea of how much money will be left with me. I just want to know roughly how much will be left, around 200, 300, or how much will be left with me. I just want to know that. I don't want to calculate the actual difference. I don't want to calculate the actual sum, actual subtraction. I don't want to do. I just want to know roughly that how much money will be left with me. So in that case, what I do, I estimate the difference. So what I will do, I will estimate this. This will be estimated as 600 and this will be estimated as 200. So this is estimated as 600 and this is estimated as 200. So what is the difference between these two? The difference is this, means if we subtract 200 from 600, we get rupees 400. So I understood that I will be left with rupees 400, means 400 rupees will be left with me if I purchase this thing which costs rupees 199. So now let us check what will be the actual difference between these two. What will be the actual difference? What will be the actual answer we get if we subtract this? So this will become, we will take one carry, it will become 15. 15 minus 9 is 6. Then it will become 1, means it will become 11. 11 minus 9 will be 2. It will become 5. 5 minus 1 is 4. So this means I will be left with rupees 426. If I purchase this thing, I will be left with 426. And what I estimated the difference? I estimated that I will be left with rupees 400, means 400 rupees will be left with me. Around 400 rupees will be left with me if I purchase this thing. So this is why in our real life, in our day-to-day life, we estimate the difference to know the difference between the two numbers, without doing the actual subtraction. We get the rough idea of the number. We get the rough idea. So we do this estimated difference. So now let us learn this, how to do this. Now let us take one example to understand how to estimate difference. $5,710 minus 431. We want to find the estimated difference of these two numbers. We don't want to find the actual difference between these two numbers. What will be the actual difference between these two numbers? 5710 minus 431. So the actual difference will be this. If we do this problem, we will get the solution of this question, that what is the difference between these two numbers. But we don't want to do the actual calculation here. We don't want to do the actual calculation. We want to find the estimated difference between these two numbers. We don't want the actual difference. Okay, so how to do the estimated difference? How to calculate this? For doing this, we have to estimate these two numbers separately.
to estimate these two numbers separately, we have to round off these two numbers separately. For rounding off, what we do, either we round off to the nearest tens, hundreds or thousands. So what is there? We have to round off both the number to the same place. If we are rounding off this number to the nearest tens, we have to round off this number also to the nearest tens. If we are rounding off this number to nearest hundreds, we have to round off this number also to nearest hundreds. If we are rounding off this number to nearest thousands, we have to round off this number also to nearest thousands. But to which place we will round it off? So to find that, what we do, we find the to which place we have to round off. To know this, what we will do, we will find the smaller number. Which one is the smaller number among these two? This is the smaller number. So what we do, the smaller number has ones, tens and hundreds. So hundreds is the greatest place for this smaller number, right? So we will round off these two numbers to the nearest hundreds. Okay. So let us do this. Rounding off to hundreds. To hundreds. Why we are rounding off to hundreds? We have to find which one is the smaller number. The smaller number is this one, and the greatest place for this smaller number is ones, tens and hundreds. Hundreds is the greatest place for this smaller number. So we will round off both the number to the nearest hundreds. So this will be rounded off to 5710. Rounds off to 570. If we are rounding off this number to the nearest hundreds, it is rounded off to this. Now 431 rounds off to 400 when rounded off to the hundreds. Now let us find the difference. So this gives us estimated difference. What will be the estimated difference? Difference means to subtract. So we will subtract these two. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. 7 minus 4 is 3 and 5. There is no number, so it will be as it is 5. So the estimated difference is equal to 5,300. Right. Now let us see what is the actual difference between these two numbers. So this is 0. We will take one carry. It will become 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. It becomes 0. So again we will take one carry. It will become 10 minus 3 is 7. It becomes 6. 6 minus 4 is 2, and this will be 5. So what is this? The actual difference between these two numbers is 5,279, right? And the estimated difference is 5,300. So the estimated difference is very close to the actual difference. So this estimated difference is very meaningful, it is reasonable, and this is the way to find how to estimate difference. This way we do how to find the estimated difference, because it is meaningful. See, it is very much close. This estimated difference is very much close to the actual difference between these two numbers. It is a meaningful estimation. It is a reasonable estimation. Now, this is the correct way of doing the estimation. But if we round off this to the nearest thousands, let us see what happens. Okay, if we round off this to nearest thousands, let us see what happens. So this will, if we round off this number to nearest thousands, this will become 6,000. And if this is rounded off to thousands, it will become 0. This will become, if this number is rounded off to thousands, it will become 0 because it is less than 500, right? So what will be the estimated difference?
6000 minus 0 will be 6000, right? 6000 minus 0 is 6000. Anything 0 subtracted from any number will give the same number. See, 2 minus 0 is 2. 3 minus 0 is 3. Same as 6000 minus 0 will be 6000. See, the estimated difference is 6000 and the real difference is 5279. This is a difference. This is a major difference. It is not a small difference, it is a major difference. So this estimation is not reasonable, this estimation is not meaningful, okay, because the real difference is very much less when compared to the estimated difference. So this is not the meaningful estimation. So the correct was what we did earlier, rounding off to hundreds was the correct way of doing estimation, okay. And one more thing, when we are finding the difference between two numbers like 8 and 6, if we want to find the difference between these two numbers, we subtract, we get 2. So this is the answer we get when we try to find the difference between 8 and 6. The result is 2, right? When we have to find the difference between 5 and 3, it is 2. The difference between 5 and 3 is 2, right? The difference between 2 and 1 is 1. So what we find that the difference between 2 and 1 is 1. The difference between 5 and 3 is 2. So this difference, which is the answer, is always smaller than the bigger number, right? See, the difference between 10 and 7 is 3. So the difference is 3. The difference between 10 and 7 is 3, and it is always smaller than the bigger number, right? So but what is here? See, the difference between these two numbers, the estimated difference is greater than the bigger number, right? See, the difference between 10 and 7 is 3, and this difference is always smaller than the bigger number, right? So, but what is here? The estimated difference is 6000 and it is bigger than the greater number. So this estimation is not meaningful. It is not meaningful, it is not reasonable, right? What we did earlier was the meaningful estimation. That is, when we rounded off to hundreds was a reasonable estimation. This is not the reasonable estimation because the estimated difference is more than the greater number, right? So understood? This way we do the estimated difference. Now let us come to the next topic, to estimate products. We should first understand the meaning of product. When we multiply two numbers, 3 into 5, the result which we get is the product. See, we are multiplying 3 and 5. The result what we get is 15. So 15 is the product of 3 and 5. So the product is the result of multiplication. So the product of 3 and 5 is 15. Like the sum of 3 and 5 is 8. Sum means to add. The sum of 3 and 5 is 8. The difference of 3 and 5 is we have to subtract, and the product of 3 and 5 is 15. So the product is the result of multiplication. So to estimate product, now let us take one example. 61 into 196. We have to find the product. Here we will not find the actual product of these two numbers. We will find the estimated product of these two numbers. So for this, let us first find the actual product of these two numbers. 196 into 61. So 1 6 is 6, 1 9 is 9, 1 1 is 1. 6 6 is 36, 3 carry, 9 6 are 50, 6 9 are 54, 54 plus 3 is 57, 5 carry, 5 carry, and 6 1 is 6, 6 plus 5 is 11. So it will be 6, 9 plus 6 is 15, 1 carry, 7 plus 1 is 8, plus 1 9, and 1. So this is 11,956. The actual product of, means the actual product, 196 into 61, the actual product of these two numbers is 11,956. But here we have to find the estimated product of these two numbers. So to find the estimated products, why we find the estimated products? Because when we want to get a quick answer, a quick result, a quick answer, then we do the estimated sum, difference, or product. So we want a very quick answer of this. So we will not do this long process of multiplication. We will do the estimated product. So what will be, how we will do this? We have to estimate these two numbers separately. For estimating these two numbers separately, we have to round them off separately, and then we have to multiply that. Then we have to multiply that rounded off numbers. Okay, so we will round off this to. So how we will round off, to which place we will round off? We will round off to the nearest tens or nearest hundreds or nearest thousands. So in multiplication, what we do? We round off each number to its greatest place. What is the greatest place for this number? This has ones and tens place. So the greatest place for this number is tens. So this number will be rounded off to tens. And this number, ones, tens, and hundreds. This place has hundreds as its greatest place. So this number will be rounded off to the hundreds, to hundreds. So 61 rounds off to, it will be rounded off to tens, ones and tens, because tens is the greatest place for this number. So what it will be? It will be rounded off to 60, and 196 will be rounded off to 200, because this has ones, tens, and hundreds. So this number will be rounded off to hundreds. So 196 will be rounded off to 200. Now we will find, now this is the rounded off numbers. Now we will find the product of, the rounded off numbers. So what will be the product? 2 into 6 is 12, and 1, 2 and 3 zeros. So 3 zeros will be there. So it is 12,000. So the estimated product of these two numbers is 12,000, and the actual or the real product of these two numbers is 11,956. So the actual product and the estimated product. See, this is the estimated product. This is the estimated product. So estimated product is 12,000, and the real product or the actual product is 11,956, which is very closer to the estimated product. So this way, so this is very meaningful, and this is reasonable and a good estimate of the product. So this way we do the estimation of products. Okay. So this way we do the estimation of products. So this was the last topic of this chapter, knowing our number. Also, this video was the second part of the introduction video of this chapter. If you wish to watch the first part of the introduction video, it is already there in my channel with the same name. And in the next class, we will solve all the questions of exercise 1.1 of this chapter, knowing our numbers. And if you like the video, then share with your friends and relatives, and subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you can get notification of the videos. If you have any doubts or suggestions, you can comment me in the comment section. So meet you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye.